Here with Northwestern State head coach Blaine McCorkle. Demons getting ready to go to Southeast Missouri State on Saturday. But, Coach, let's go back to Weber State last week as it sort of applies to going forward. That was a top 25 team a couple of weeks ago. They're back in the top 25 this week. How does seeing that team somewhat prepare you for what you'll see Saturday?
Well, it definitely lets you know what that environment, that intensity, that physicality feels like. You know, they're a top 25 team, and this week, we'll play a top 15 team. I think the new polls came out, and Southeast Missouri was number 12, maybe number 13 in another, and they're worth every bit of that ranking. They're a good football team, and they're really talented, and they get the ball all over the field, and they're active on defense, and we'll have our work cut out for us. But we played good competition. You know, our first 5 games, this is the 5th one coming up, been 2 FBS teams and 2 top 25 teams. So it's hard to have better competition than that to find out where you're at.
Yeah, as you look through it, it looks like you're going to pick up a couple more of those possibly later this year once you get into Southland play.
Sure.
But on the whole, these 4 games and this 5th game, you've got to feel about as prepared as any coach at the FCS level when conference play does roll around because of the non-conference schedule.
Yeah, we know what quality opponents feel like. That's for sure. And you know, one of the best ways to get better is to play against good people. You know, and we've done that. And you know, going into week 5, we're pretty much at mid-season now. Even though we haven't played a conference game, we kind of are in the middle of the season, but with a lot of football left to play. You know, we've got 8 games left on the schedule. So you know, our kids now are somewhat battle tested, and now we've got to learn from those battles we've been in, clean up some mistakes, play a little bit cleaner football, and try to turn one of these into a win.
Iron sharpens iron type mentality.
Absolutely, yeah, it's very real.
And especially for a young program and a program that's where you are, that's got to kind of help you learn exponentially.
It does. You know, we're young. I think I counted the other day. Right now, we've got 19 freshmen, redshirt freshmen and sophomores getting significant snaps on both sides of the ball, really in all 3 phases. So battle tested, we are in a hurry, and long term down the road for the rest of this year and years to come, that's going to pay dividends because a lot of those guys, the Northwestern State fans, are going to get used to hearing their names for a long, long time as we keep those guys here and continue to grow the program.
One of those guys who should be here another year is Blake Gocher, your junior linebacker. Came in as a transfer, was voted captain. That says quite a bit to walk into a new situation, earn the respect of your teammates that quickly, and be awarded that. Did that surprise you at all that the team looked at him that way?
Yeah, it did. You know, you never expect a transfer to come in and within 3.5 months be voted captain. But at the same time, our whole team was new. You know, it's no secret. Everybody's talked extensively about there was a point last year where we had a football practice where only 16 kids show up. So a lot of the people who voted for him were also new and didn't know who to and who not to vote for. So I think a little bit of that had to play with it. But it's also a great credit to Blake that he came in and he went to work and he earned people's respect in a hurry with the way he works and the way he carries himself. So it's a great credit to him, and he's living up to the bill on the field right now. He's been really productive, as we know, and he's still got his best football ahead of him as he's still learning the system.
When he came in, I mean, did you feel that was a really good fit for Coach Connor's defense?
Yeah, he's smart. He can see the game. He can run. He's got a mountain in front of him that really helps him out, that allows him to be free and run to the ball, and he can do that. And he's an active player, and he plays with a lot of intensity and physicality. So it does fit him very well. And I think he's only 4 games into this defense. As he continues to learn and grow through it, I think his production's only going to improve more and more.
When you look ahead to SEMO, it's going to be kind of a paradigm shift from last week where you faced a top 15 rushing attack in the FCS, and now you'll face a top 10 passing attack. So flip of the coin, turn the page, whatever you want to say for this defense.
Yeah, it's definitely a change of pace. Last week against Tennessee Martin, 2 weeks ago against Tennessee Martin, I think they threw the ball 60-something times and had really 4 or 5 called runs. We were kind of joking in the staff room that they have 2 runs in their offense. They run on the field and they run off the field. Other than that, they're throwing it around pretty good. But they do have the ability to run the ball really well. They've got a true freshman running back, Peyton Brown, who's a pretty talented kid, fun to watch on film. And they have the ability to play several different ways, but it's no secret they definitely want to throw it around. That big, tall quarterback, the De Laurent kid, he's 6'5", 229 pounds, and he can make every throw on the football field. And if I were a fan, I'd really like watching him. I'm not real excited about facing him this week, but he's a fun player to watch and really talented, and he definitely is a weapon for them for sure.
But it's more than to be a top 15 team. You just can't be a great offense. There's a lot more complementary pieces, and I know that's one thing you continue to look for from your squad is complementary football. SEMO and those teams, we saw it from Weber State, good offensive performance and a shutout. Complementary football, again, probably on the docket on the other side this week.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at the other side of the ball. Their defense is big. They're physical. They're very active. They do some things that create some issues up front. That you've got to kind of re-scheme some things a little bit with the way they move and how they jockey their fronts a little bit. But they're active and they're physical and they can run and they can hit. And there's no secret when you turn on the film. They've got guys. And they're physically imposing, standing there on film. So we'll have our work cut out for us up front for sure. And we've got to be smart as we game plan to put our guys in the best position to be successful and trying to help those guys out a little bit.
And again, it's maybe just another measuring stick kind of game against a program that has had the stability you want to see and has built into a perennial top 25 team.
It is, and that's the one thing that you talk a lot about when you talk about building programs is, quick fixes are one thing, but they're temporary. And we don't want to build a quick fix here. And SEMO is a great model of that. Their head coach, Coach Matukowicz, has been there for 10, 11 years now and has really built a sustained program and won a few conference championships, been to the playoffs several times, and got that thing rolling pretty good. And that's that's a good model for what we're trying to do here. Is we're just getting this thing started in year one. Is we want to have success now. We don't want to wait, but to have a sustained program like was here in the past, it takes a lot of time and effort and work put in over years to get to that point. And that's what we're trying to do. So credit to SEMO, and that'll be good for us to see how they operate and what that looks like firsthand.
Coach, as always, we appreciate your time.
Thank you.